Hi guys, welcome back to web scraping and mapping dam levels in Python. In the previous video, we installed and configured PostgreSQL and PostGIS, and we also created a database and a user for our application. In this video, we'll be installing some essential development tools for Python, and we will also create our virtual environment and install Django. If you haven't done so already, open up your terminal with Ctrl Alt and T, and then we are going to switch over to our root user. Once that is done, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to check if Python 3 is installed by checking for the version of Python 3. It's Python 3 -- version. So as you can see, I have Python 3.5 installed on my machine. So this is the default installation version of Python 3 that you get when you install Ubuntu Linux. And once that is done, we are going to install the Python 3 pip installer. So this installs third-party libraries that will help enrich our applications. So that will be sudo apt get install Python 3 pip y for yes. Once that is done, we are now going to install some essential development tools for Python. I'm just going to copy over this command. Please do note that I'll make these available for you guys to use so that you don't have to type out everything. Okay, so once that is done, we are going to install Python 3 venv. So venv will allow us to create a virtual environment for our application, so that when we deploy our application elsewhere, we won't have to reinstall the third-party libraries that we were using to develop that application. So it will ship the third-party libraries with the application inside a virtual environment. Okay, so that will be sudo apt get install Python 3 venv. Okay, so once that is done, we are going to change into our desktop. Once we're in here, we are going to create a directory for this project that we'll be working on. So it's make dir. I'm going to call it dam levels course. You can call it whatever you want, dam levels tutorial or whatever. Okay, so once that has been created, you can see the desktop icon popping up. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to change our directory into that folder that we have just created. So once we are in here, we are going to create our project folder, and we are going to call that dam levels. Make dir dam levels. So this is the name of our project and where our project will reside. Okay, then we change into that directory. Once we are in there, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to create our virtual environment. So that's pyvenv, and then I'm going to call it venv. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call mine venv. Okay, so our virtual environment is created for us. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to activate our virtual environment. So that is source venv bin activate. So once our virtual environment has been activated, it means that if we install our third-party libraries or packages, we don't have to specify the Python version, because it installs the same package for both Python 2 2.7 and for Python 3. So you will also notice that the prefix here has venv in brackets. So that means that our virtual environment has been activated and that we are now working within our virtual environment. And if we say deactivate, we can deactivate our virtual environment. If I spelled that right. As you can see, that prefix is gone. So now we're going to activate it again. Source vn bin activate. Okay, so while we are still inside our virtual environment, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to install Django toolbelt, which will allow us to install Django as well as any other libraries that support Django development. So that is pip install Django toolbelt. Okay, great. So once that has been installed, we are now going to create a requirementstxt file with a list of our Python external dependencies and libraries. So that's pip freeze requirements.txt. You can call it anything you want. This is just the name of the file where we will list our third-party libraries so that when we want to install that again, we won't have to use the pip package manager to install each and every one of those libraries independently, but we can just run the pip install on this text file here, and it will install all our libraries that we've specified inside the text file, as you will see right now. So pip freeze to create that file. As you can see, the file is here, and now we will check the contents of that file. Cat requirements.txt, and as you can see, here are all our third-party libraries that we need for our Django development, including Django itself, as well as GUnicorn and CyclePG2, which are the essential ones. And that's about it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.